Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Saturday, January 22nd, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about the injuries in play for today, it is just a small 3-game slate overall, and then going over my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get into a recap of yesterday's picks. So we're going to start off on the DraftKings side. We had Ja Morant, $9,300, looking for 47 points on him. He got to 56.5, so he was a really good hit yesterday. At shooting guard, we had Aaron Wiggins, $3,500, looking for 18 points on him. He got to 17.5, which was exact 5 times value, so he was a hit as well. Then at small forward, we had DeAndre Hunter, $4,800, looking for 24 points on him. He got to 32.5, so he was a hit as well. Then Jaren Jackson scared me a little bit yesterday since he was kind of off to a slow start, got in a little bit of foul trouble, at least early on. $6,300, looking for 32 points on him. He got to 35.75, so he was a good hit as well yesterday. And then last but not least, we had Bam Adebayo at center, $7,500, looking for 38 points on him. He got a 36.5, so he's a miss, but a guy that just missed by 1 point. So even if you played him, your lineup was not doing bad because you played Bam Adebayo yesterday. So 4 out of 5 on the DraftKings side, and the one miss that we had was a just miss at that. Then on the FanDuel side, we had point guard Mike Conley, $5,700, looking for 29 points on him. He got the 31.8, so he was a hit once again yesterday. Oddly enough, he keeps having these bigger second halves than the slower first halves, but can't really complain since he is hitting his price tag. Then shooting guard, we had Josh Giddey, $6,100, looking for 31 points on him. Got to 35.3, so he was a hit. Then we had Joe Ingles at small forward, $3,700, looking for 19 points on him. He got to 18.1. He was a push. Could have had a little bit better day, but still not a guy that killed us overall. And then at power forward, we had Bobby Portis, $6,300. He got to 28.1 points, so he technically was a miss since we were looking for about 32 points out of him. He only played 27 minutes yesterday, a little bit less than he normally does, 5 for 15 shooting from the field. And he really just had points and rebounds yesterday. So not a guy that did a whole heck of a lot yesterday, but not a guy that would have killed your lineup completely overall, as he's been rather consistent throughout the year. Then last but not least, we have Ben Adebayo at center once again, $7,700, looking for 39 points on him. He got to 35.7, so he was a miss, but a just miss at that once again. So between the two sides, it was really just Bam Adebayo. Bobby Portis had the down game, but overall, core picks pretty good yesterday. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries and play for tonight's slate. So once again, it is a 3-game slate starting at 7 o'clock Eastern, and these games are all spaced out by about an hour tonight. So for the Sacramento Kings, Tyrese Haliburton is questionable. He was on the COVID protocol list. He has cleared it now. Sounds like he should play tonight. So kills off a little bit of that Kings value that we had been looking at in recent games. Milwaukee Bucks just without Brook Lopez tonight, so no changes there at all. Oklahoma City Thunder just without Vit Krejci, so the exact same as yesterday as well. I would not be surprised if one of those centers like a Derek Favors or Mike Muscala or somebody like that gets ruled out as well today, but shouldn't really affect value too much overall on tonight's slate. I would not be surprised if they go with a too big starting lineup, especially against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who like to play big themselves. For the Cleveland side, Lamar Stevens is probable, and then Rajon Rondo is questionable tonight, so we'll see if he's back or not. He's been dealing with a hamstring injury. If he's back, it could affect Darius Garland just a little bit in terms of his assist potential. Then we move over to the Pacers, who is kind of like the biggest spot on this entire slate, just because we had the Brogdon and LeVert news. If they don't end up playing, there's some good value on the Pacers team. If they do end up playing, there's a little bit of value, but not quite as much value. So besides those two guys, they are without TJ McConnell, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner, and TJ Warren once again. So no major changes there. It just really depends on if Malcolm Brogdon and Karis LeVert end up playing today, because if they play, obviously they'll be in the starting lineup and they'll be pretty good values themselves. Otherwise, if they don't end up playing, some of these other guys are going to look pretty good. Chris Duarte, Justin Holiday, Torrey Craig, Goga Batadze. Then on the Sun side of the ball, they're without DeAndre Ayton, Frank Kaminsky, Abdul Nader, and Dario Saric. So once again, JaVale McGee in that starting lineup hasn't done a whole heck of a lot lately. Bismack Biyombo's actually been the one playing a little bit better, but his price tag has gone up too as well. The Suns are a pretty fairly priced team on tonight's slate. Can't really complain too much, but not a lot of value there overall, but a team that you definitely should have some exposure to, especially on a 3-game slate like tonight, and maybe a little bit of extra exposure to this Pacers-Suns game could be beneficial, just so you have that ability to late swap, as long as we're not getting that Brogdon and LeVert news early on in the day. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. There's not a lot that we're really looking at, but I'll keep you guys as updated as possible throughout the day. And then I'll also be letting you guys know if anything else does pop up throughout the day as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off with point guard Chris Paul, $7,800, looking for 39 points out of him, essentially what he's averaging on the season so far. And I currently have him projected for about 39 points tonight. Definitely has some upside for more, as we've seen in recent games. Then at shooting guard, we have Chris Duarte, $5,200. He's got 3 good games in a row now. Been playing bigger minutes. There's less guys on this team that can do things. He's a very promising rookie. You're looking for that 26 points out. Currently, I'm projected for about 26 points. If Brogdon and LeVert both don't end up playing again, he definitely has a ton of upside as well. Then in terms of another guy kind of in that same boat as Torrey Craig, $4,500, a little bit heftier price tag than we like to play for Torrey Craig, obviously, but he's in that starting lineup. He's playing bigger minutes. He's been playing rather well. Currently, I'm projected for about 23 points. We're looking for about 22, 23 out of him. Looks like a decent little value on tonight's slate. Obviously, if Malcolm Brogdon and Karis LeVert miss once again, then he'll look even better once again tonight. Then at power forward, I got Marvin Bagley, $5,400. Looking for about 27 points out. I'm averaging 21 on the season. Currently, I have him projected for about 28 points. He's been playing very, very well, at least in terms of DFS. I can't always say that he's playing real in real life. This is a very tough game for him, especially if he's going to have to be guarding Giannis. Potentially getting in foul trouble since Marvin Bagley is not the greatest defender in the world. That is a chance, but I think it's one worth taking on tonight's slate overall. Then last but not least, we have Goga Batadze at the center position, $4,700. So we did see his price tag increase by $1,000, but he played big minutes last time out, played rather well as well, especially from a DFS perspective at least. So $4,700, looking for 23, 24 points out. I'm currently having projected for 25, 26 points tonight, but definitely has a little bit of upside for more as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the DraftKings side, you have $22,400 remaining, just under $7,500 per player. So I guess you could pay up for Giannis if you really want to in this case, because he's really the only stud on this slate. Or you can take a little bit more balanced approach, which is something that could work pretty well overall on tonight's slate as well. Definitely going to be an interesting slate. And I think there's a lot of potential value here. There's a lot of guys that have some upside, and there's a lot of decent plays, but there's also some guys that are probably not going to pay off for the price tag tonight. So could be a very interesting slate, especially depending on the news that we do get throughout the day. But with that being said, we'll move over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So I'm going to start off at point guard position with Malcolm Brogdon. He's $6,600, looking for 33 points out. I'm averaging 35 on the season. Obviously, this is if he plays. If he doesn't play, then obviously you can't play him. But if he's out there, if he's playing, if he gets decent minutes, if he plays halfway well, at $6,600, that's a very reasonable price tag. I got him projected for about 33, 34 points, so he would definitely pay off at that price tag once again tonight. Then at shooting guard, we have Josh Giddey, who we did play yesterday. $6,100, looking for 30, 31 points out. Averaging about 31 on the season. Obviously, we saw him get 35 last night. Currently, I have him projected for 33 once again tonight. Then at small forward, this is kind of the position that didn't really stand out on the FanDuel side today. Mikal Bridges is who I got here at $5,100. Looking for about 25, 26 points out. Averaging about 24 on the season. Obviously, he had that monster game the last time out. But I currently have him projected for about 25, 26 points. So paying off for his price tag. And maybe this is a guy that changes throughout the day if we do get some other unexpected value popping up throughout the day. Then at power forward, we have Evan Mobley, $6,600, looking for 33 points out. I'm averaging about 34 on this season. Currently having projected for 34 points tonight. It's a favorable matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder. If this game remains halfway competitive, he's going to look even better. But even if the game's not quite as competitive, he can still get his run in early and often in tonight's game. And then last but not least, at that center position, we're going right back to Bobby Portis, $6,300. He's been one of the most consistent players. Obviously, he lost a couple minutes last night, but looking for 31, 32 points out of him. Currently, I'm projected for 32 points once again. It's a pretty good matchup against the Sacramento Kings, so I have no problem going right back to Bobby Portis once again today. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the FanDuel side, you have $29,300 remaining, just over $7,300 per player. So definitely room to pay up if you wanted to for Giannis. That's probably going to be a very popular player on tonight's slate. Otherwise, there's not that many like stud price players. So you can definitely mix and match pretty much as you want to from there. So definitely a lot of strategies that you can test out and try on tonight's slate overall. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, January 22nd. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on DraftKings or FanDuel. Heck, if you want to throw a super draft in there as well, definitely down to talk some super draft. JC Money Design and myself will be going live around 5 o'clock today on his channel. We'll be going over the NBA DFS Super Draft main slate over there, so definitely be sure to check that out. We'll be going through some of the studs, the duds, and the dart throws that paid off last night. And then we'll be going over the guys that I do like in play at guard, forward, center, you name it. And then any questions you have related to Super Draft, we'll be answering those as well. And then last but not least, as always, I'll be listing the injury updates, COVID news, and starting lineups down in the comments below. So definitely be sure to check that out throughout the day. I'll also list that updated core about an hour to a half hour prior to lock. We only have the one game lock in at 7 o'clock, so we'll have some different news. So the core could change after lock as well. Just be aware of that. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. And then as we get closer to NFL draft season, I'm going to be talking some NFL draft prospects as well. And then with that being said, if you are newer current subscribers yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.